second video for today. As I said in the previous video, I was going to do the BMP2 video, and this is what I want you guys to see. This is my first match in the BMP2. My leader, KB the Mullet, teaching me how to play this tank. Now, it's not really a tank you really want to be really aggressive in, but if you got a tune of these things, they are seriously overpowered. Honestly, truly believe that this tank is truly broken in platoons. And as you will see very quickly, how broken this tank really truly is. Now, in the very beginning, it kind of was aggressive for spots, because this tank is amazing for that. I didn't even actually load till I got about right here, both of my guns. So it takes a good second to load your weapons with a stock BMP2. But even stock, this thing is just gruesome. His BMP2 is fully 100%ed. And as you saw, he hit that light, or that medium over there, way off in the distance. This is a good distance away that he hit him. And I believe he did a good margin of damage. He wasn't even spotted yet, so I don't even think I can even see it. But back to the... I was hit really hard by somebody. Took a good portion of my damage. Sorry for missing that part of the clip, but that's okay. As you can see, the bullet right in the side of my tank. He told me to pull back because they are definitely pushing. We had no support. So we're pulling back for now to see what our team can do. And we're going to regroup. Like I said, this is a passive tank. I've said this before with the BMP1. BMP2 should be treated the same unless you're a super aggressive player with a pretty good team holding their ground. Then obviously do what you do, and there's KB in the bush. I'm just kind of scoping around, trying to get used to zooming in with this thing, and it's not exactly an easy task being new to a tank. I was getting kind of antsy, not gonna lie. Sitting around's not really my thing, so this is probably not just everybody's play style. I couldn't really get a zoom in on anybody, even in the far distance to the far right. Nobody was popping up, and I wasn't really getting any damage. So me and KB decided to push up. Here in a second you will see. Boom, he hit him again. Jeez, oh Pete, his targeting is just insane. Like I said, this is my first time in this tank, so I'm still getting used to really getting in. See, I moved up because I was trying to get the Scorpion and double tap him, but he just wasn't having it. So I decided to look further in, used my Hall Patch kit. And, well, there goes another rocket. So me and KB decided to push up, said screw it, let's go. Here he comes right now. And there's a full RDF. He hasn't seen me. Now he's spotted me. And he said, no, not today. So instead of just charging in, always wait for your teammate unless you don't have an absolute choice. And thank God we got some support finally. So this is where the tank is actually overpowered. This is what this thing can do. One down. We're both reloading. Like I said, the support in the back, that A3 that popped up earlier, giving us that support kill. But look at the power of these two tanks draining those two full HP tanks. That is just crazy overpowered. In my opinion only, this tank is crazy. I personally think this tank is overpowered. If played correctly in toons, like we just did. In the very beginning, yes, we were very passive. Wasn't exactly the greatest of ideas. But as you can see, our team held very, very well. So now we're pushing. We already lost one of our teammates, I believe, was in this match. Nope. It was just after... It was just the match before this. Our teammate left. I could have swore it was a 3. Or I guess it was a 2. But yeah, KB pushing in on the 120, which I call the Turan, which is pretty much what it is, a Turan. I actually don't know if I hit him at that point. To be completely honest, I don't even remember. As you can see, I don't have the damage in the upper right hand of the screen, so I have no idea. But yes, there's a nice tank giving me a hello. Double tapping these tanks is just overpowered. Look at that ammo rack just dropping. And goodbye. That is just overpowered. These tanks are nasty. I honestly think if played correctly, this could be one broken tech tree tank. I cannot imagine 5 of these being the old school player, how these things would be if there was 5 in one match of really good players. I just couldn't imagine it. It's broken. And goodbye with the rocket. Give it a nice little auto lock with the rocket. Do not auto lock unless you are completely still. Let the turret do all the work. If the person is moving at a speed your turret can't keep up, it is not suggested. I used auto lock to see how the turret reacted, and from as you saw, it reacted perfectly. And there's the end of the match. I actually don't even remember the damage for this match. I don't even think I could pull it up. But yes, there it is. KB and myself reaching 3rd and 2nd place. And FV taken 1st. But yes, that was a very, very good match. As you saw, 4 tanks gave us a total of almost 10,000 damage. And we only went in, I think, roughly 20 or 30, maybe 40 seconds tops. And we did almost 10,000 damage in 30 seconds. That's insane. That's a lot of damage in that short period of time. That's why I honestly think this tank is truly broken. I just do. Like, I don't think most tier Era 2s can keep up with this tank. Now, on the other hand, we didn't really run into any FVs in this match, so I can't really speak for the FV. I do know how to play the FV. It's very, very bouncy, a great tank. I play that tank very, very well, but seeing we didn't run into any FVs that match, I can't say that we would have did very, very well, but I would assume by the way we played that match, it would be very similar, if not the same, as how we treated those 4 tanks that we ended up tag teaming. So, as you can see, the tank is definitely broken. I agree 100% with KB. That tank is very, very broken. But if you want to give it a real chance, the tank is amazing. I would suggest it. Now, you really do have to pay attention to something, and I'm going to show you real quick since we're on it. I made a video on it not too long ago. This horrible, horrible tank, the PT-76, and I had the very first match I played with it, I got a very, very good match. The BMP1 is kind of like mid-tier to the BMP. The BMP1 is pretty good, not gonna lie, but it's more passive. It teaches you to be very, very passive, and I'm not a passive player. It took me a lot longer than it should to get through it, to get my BMP2, And from what I understand of all the BMPs, the BMP2 is the best era for era tank. Now, the BMP3, the only reason why this tank is going to be rough is because of the fact that this tank has to deal with a bunch of bouncy Era 3s. Now, Era 3 is super, super bouncy, and BMP3s just can't keep up stock. Apparently, a fully upgraded heavy can outrun a stock BMP3. So be alerted as to everybody that already has built their tanks. If you have not built the BMP line, be ready for that. The heavies will outrun you, which is crazy to my thought process. Imagining a M1 Abrams going 70 miles per hour. Holy crap. And a maxed out tank. And I'm not sure how this tank is maxed out, but we will see soon enough. And this is stock still, so it's 64 kmh. I said mph, but it's kmh. Either way, the BMP2 is the way to go with the BMP line. The BMP1 is pretty good. I'm not that great at it, not gonna lie. I'm still learning the BMPs, so I don't have a lot of great videos to show of me doing decent in the tank to really give a great example of how to use it. It's too passive for me. I'm an antsy person. I want to get moving and start slapping people with my BMP rockets, and that's exactly what I did. And to test the auto lock on the rockets, as you saw, it is actually very, very accurate for slow tanks. So I would suggest it only on light tanks to auto lock. Do not try to auto lock anything that has a lot of armor or has spaced armor. It will bounce, and you are not guaranteed to pen. If you run into a Leopard 1A1, then auto lock might work in your favor. Light tanks for sure will work in your favor with auto lock. But if they're not slow to begin with, do not auto lock. Not suggested. Just aim and lead your missile. As you saw, I only fired one rocket. So like I said, I'm still nervous about the rockets. But man, that machine gun really boosted my ego. I'm very much happier with the BMP2 as I am with the BMP1. So it's suggested play that for my personal play style to play with the BMP2. Anybody else that suggests anything else, it's because they are better at being passive than they are being aggressive. I'm a very aggressive player. I do not care. I like pushing in and giving it my all. But yes, that is how I play. I don't know about anybody else. BMP2 is the way to go. And this is Riot Fox signing off.